what about DH? DH. Just give it a second, buddy.
So, Stephen, I just have a simple question. Why do you on Trump for correction? Why do you on Trump for corruption so hard while being such a staunch supporter of Benjamin Netanyahu, who's facing his own corruption charges?
Where do you get the impression that I'm a staunch supporter of Benjamin Netanyahu?
You did the debate with Lex Friedman against where Norman Finkelstein called you a fantastic moron. You spout.
Can you think of a single? What is one thing that I said in support of Netanyahu in that debate?
You spout Zionist. You spout Zionist propaganda. You got embarrassed by Norman Finkelstein on the.
I'll try this one more time. So the answer is you have nothing because I'm incredibly critical of Benjamin Netanyahu. You don't know what you're talking about. You haven't seen the debate, or you just don't know anything about the subject.
I know you're a Zionist and an idiot on top of it.
I am a Zionist. Why are you a Muslim? You want to fight?
What does my religion have to do with anything?
Well, because I'm a Zionist, so that makes me Islamophobic.
I mean, you haven't said anything yet, but I'm sure you will. It's only a matter of time.
And please don't. And please don't. Please don't do anything like that. So, you have any defense for MAGA and Trump?
No, he's a piece of shit. He deserves to rot in prison.
Nice. Agreed. Thank you. All right. So
wait.
Next. What?
Is he still here? Fuck.
No, I just kicked him. Well, this is about Trump and MAGA. Listen, I don't know anything about
my bad. He had a Palestine. I just saw the Palestinian flag. Oh man. Okay, that's okay. No, you're right. You were right. You made the right call. Don't listen. To me.
Listen. I mean, whatever. You
made the right call. No. You made the right call. I'm an addict. Okay. Don't listen to me. Go. That's why you're co-hosting. Go.
Thurk, you're up, buddy. Give it just a second.
Hello.
Hi, Thurk. Do you want to defend Donald Trump and MAGA?
Is this specifically pro-Trump or is fence sitting cool too?
It can be fence sitting. What are you fence sitting on?
So I'm not voting for Trump, but I don't know if I'm going to vote at all. I voted for Obama in 2012.
Nice.
That's the only time I've ever voted.
Okay.
What turned you off in 2016 and 2020, if I may ask? And knowing that Stephen only has 15 minutes left, try to be.
No, I'm good. I got food coming. You're good.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it was anything specific. I guess my fear of some of the things that did end up happening was why I didn't vote. I think that Trump is a good lesson politically, but I don't know about leading the country.
What are you looking for then, I guess, in a president? If you're on the fence, if you know you're not going to... So basically, it sounds like it's either Kamala or the couch, right? Because you're not going to vote for Trump.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. What is making you lean towards the couch? What makes you like J.D. Vance? What makes the couch so attractive to you? You see what I did there?
It's more that I just... So me not voting for Trump is, I guess, me more voting against what he stands for. And I guess I don't particularly see not voting as sort of voting for Trump because I don't want to kind of, I guess, let Democrats be complicit. They got to do maybe a little bit better than just not being Trump.
Okay. What would you like them to do?
I don't know. I have a bit of a bias because of Biden's actions in, I guess, the niche that I work in. I do like blockchain stuff. So that probably taints my view a little bit.
What has Biden done bad for blockchain stuff?
So let me look up. Actually, give me 2 minutes to find specific.
What doesn't have to be specific? I'm just curious in general. What's your general perception? I'm not aware of the Biden admin doing or saying anything about crypto shit.
So Trump, for no reason other than it'll make him popular, is threatening to. It was a big deal to fire the head of the SEC, who a lot of us think is unfairly stifling, I guess, good regulation in the space.
Wait, I'm confused. Trump fired somebody that would have helped?
No, okay. Trump is promising to fire somebody.
Okay, that would have.
But helped. I think that action objectively would be good. I think that Biden is more for the type of regulation that I don't like in the space that's happening right now.
Like what kind of regulation?
Lack of regulatory clarity. So what the SEC has been doing is chasing after people without actually giving a concise statement on what the regulation even is.
Like who?
It's probably So the SEC classes things as securities or not securities, which is relevant in my space. And they have explicitly refused to state whether or not like a specific token is a security. And every time that we've kind of pushed to get a clear answer out of them, it hasn't happened. And Elizabeth Warren seems to be behind a lot of, I guess, influence that happens there. And she's closer aligned with Biden, which is probably my most negative bias against his camp.
So if Donald Trump is more friendly to the immediate space in which you work, why not vote for him? I'm glad you're not, but like there are clearly other considerations, right?
For the obvious reasons. So I have plenty of friends who are actually voting for him for reasons like that. I can't get over the January 6th thing. Honestly, that's the line.
Yeah. So, this, you take this for what it's worth, but I'm interested in how you engage with it. So I think that it sounds like you have serious reservations about Trump as an executive, somebody who clearly has authoritarian impulses. You probably think he's pretty stupid. It seems to me that you and your industry, if like I grant you every premise that, that because Biden is less friendly or a Biden appointee is less friendly to your particular industry, number one, doesn't necessarily mean that Kamala Harris will follow through. I mean, right now you have like Mark Cuban and others trying to put the squeeze on Kamala to fire Lena Khan at the FTC. She may or may not, but there's a possibility that Kamala's administration will be somewhat different than Biden. So there's a possibility. Yeah, so there's a possibility that the person you're looking to get fired would be fired, number one. Number two, we know that the concerns you have about Donald Trump would persist in a second Trump administration, right? So it seems to me that worst case scenario, you're looking at 4, potentially 8 years of what has gone on in your industry in the past 4, whereas Trump becoming chief executive again, I mean, who knows what kind of Pandora's box that'll unleash. Right?
Yeah, I feel like ethically not voting is different from taking a specific stance. So I think that's kind of my rationale.
Well, so the problem is that by not voting, you are increasing the likely. I mean, listen. So
I understand the practical outcomes.
Sure.
I'll just say I feel better about myself that way, regardless of the outcomes.
I suppose that's possible given that you're not taking an affirmative, you're not making an affirmative action deliberately to try to put Trump in office. Your inaction just may help contribute to some degree to that consequence. But why not take a small affirmative action to deny someone you clearly view as the bigger problem, right? Because here's the thing. If by the premise by which you entered into this conversation, Trump is a definitive no. So the choice is between Kamala and the couch. So clearly you view Kamala as the lesser of the two evils. And if that's the case, why not just, vote for her? If that makes any sense. I suppose I would understand if you thought that Trump and Kamala were comparably bad and you didn't want to split the baby, you didn't want to make a decision, so you chose not to vote. But it sounds like you're saying that you would do something which would increase the likelihood of the bigger problem becoming president.
I don't think I necessarily agree with anything you just said.
You don't agree or disagree?
Sorry, don't disagree.
Yeah. So I don't know I don't think there's going to be a magic combination of words which will inspire you to vote for Kamala, other than just I would carefully consider the practical consequences of your decision. You choosing not to vote will contribute to one extent or another, even if it's infinitesimally small, to the person you clearly regard and concede is the bigger problem becoming president again and rewarding him. In effect, he would be, if Trump becomes president again. Here's part of the thing that I'll also say. Let's say Donald Trump doesn't do all the heinous shit that he has promised that he would do. Like, that's what a lot of MAGA tells us. Like, he's just talking shit. Don't worry about it. even if that's the case, even if it's just so he doesn't have to go to jail, let's say he just wants to become president so he can get more money because he made quite a bit of money as president, because of course a lot of foreign interests are really interested in doing business with the Trump conglomerate, knowing that the head of it is the sitting president of the United States. Let's just say it's to make money and to order the DOJ to not prosecute him. That would be in effect rewarding him for bad behavior. So I would encourage you to consider the practical consequences of your decision, and just find the time, take 30 minutes, go out and vote, and contribute in some small way to depriving this asshole of a second term.
Wow.
So okay, so let's say I vote for the lesser evil. I feel like this pattern just leads to, instead of getting better policies, just fighting to not be the other guy. Like, where does that really lead us?
Wait, I mean, hopefully it just continues to improve the country in a direction that broadly aligns with what you want, right? You're always voting for the lesser of two evils. You're never getting a perfect politician, right?
Yeah, but it feels like all the politicians have become lazier because Trump is what they have to contend with.
How is Biden's admin lazy? This guy passed an insane amount of legislation compared to any prior administration. What's lazy about that?
Nothing. I don't have a problem with Biden's admin or his actions.
Do we think that Kamala is going to be lazy in office, or?
I don't know enough about realistically what she'd actually do. Maybe that's the problem.
Well, she's got an issues page on her website. I would definitely take a look at that because it breaks down into detail what specific policy aspirations she has, and you can refer to it at any time. She wants to expand the child tax credit, reinstate it. It cut child poverty in half under President Biden. She wants to reduce the cost of rent and home ownership by building additional homes. I think it was like 3 million. She wants to preside over a program that would do that. She wants to expand Medicare so it would cover at-home healthcare costs for the so-called sandwich generation who are raising kids and looking after their ailing parents. These are just some things off the top of my head, but I would definitely encourage you to check that website out. But not to push you, but if you don't have any other specific questions, we've got a gazillion other people in line. So is there anything else you want to throw out there?
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Did I say, as Chas says, decrease cost, not increase? If I said increase, I apologize. All right. Hey, appreciate it, Thurk. Have a good one. All right. So let's go to Gabriel. Gabriel, you're up. Give it just a second. Gabriel, you're on. You're on the air. Do you want to defend Donald Trump and MAGA?
No, not specifically. I think he's a malignant narcissist and a danger to our country. But I would like to steelman an argument for the other side, which is I think that you have to make the case that there is a high probability that if we do elect him, that he will compromise our government and our constitution. And I guess my only question, I'm just going to reduce it down to a single question. What do Destiny and Pisco, what do you guys think the probability is, in a Bayesian rationality background? What do you think the probability is that he compromises our government if he's elected?
No.
Yeah.
Josiah is forbade from answering this question, and I am not answering this question. It is a ridiculous presumption that we're going to say, okay, yeah, Donald Trump will try to be an authoritarian dictator, but I don't think the system will let him. That argument is devoid of substance. I can't even believe that people would ever say that. You would never, ever, 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 ever in any other circumstance use this excuse for a person operating in any environment. It's a ridiculously stupid question. We're not answering it. Dumb. Go to the next talking point.
Sorry, Stephen, I was muted there. I was talking to Paulo. Hang on one second.
All right, who's next? Speakers.
All right, sorry about that. So, sorry, my girlfriend was in here. She was about to leave. What'd you tell Gabriel? We reject the premise, because that's what I was going to say. Like,
Yeah, you're not starting with like, okay, like it's just so stupid. Like imagine your little sister is going to go out on a date with a guy, and you know the fucking guy is a rapist 100%. Do you just give your sister a knife?
Right.
Like it's such an unbelievably insane fucking question that the fact if you are entertaining that as a serious question, you've already been brain rotted a little bit. Like it's going to take you years to recover from the abscess in your mind, okay, that's filling with Trump ooze. If that's where you're like, well, maybe he does want to be an authoritarian dictator, but like I think the government will stop him, so I'm going to vote for that guy. Like that's insane.
I hate Donald Trump, just so you know. I think it's kind of funny. That's your defense, Destiny.
Well, Gabriel,
I'm just trying to ask, what's the probability? Like,
Gabriel, you guys, wait a minute.
If you had to put out,
hey, buddy, hey, whoa.
Okay.
Listen, just hang on. Here's the thing: the reason that I think it's a ridiculous premise is, wouldn't it just be rewarding him for, like, again, this is what I said to the previous.
The probability is 100%. Josiah's right. You're already rewarding this behavior. So just him winning the election is already infinitely damaging, because you've sent the message that it's okay to be a criminal. It's okay to pardon all your friends, all your cronies from crimes. It's okay to tell lies to everybody. It's okay to spread misinformation. It's okay to be an unhinged fucking lunatic. It's okay to be an egomaniac narcissist. It's okay to be the most nepotistic president in the history of all of our fucking presidents. Probably. So him being elected already does, like, I wouldn't say irreparable, but already does a great deal of harm to the office and to the country.
Yeah, denying him the office serves two functions. You want to prevent the greater than 0% chance that he does some or all the shit that he wants to do. And number two, denying him the office functions as a deterrent, not just to Trump, but also to people like Trump, to say, hey, listen, you will suffer relentless electoral consequences if you're an authoritarian who tries to overturn an election. Like, surely you would agree that that in and of itself has value.
No, of course it has value. I just think it's funny that Destiny thinks he can put a 100% probability on something. Like, can you predict the future, Destiny? Nobody can. Like, I would like you to put your name on a probability of that Trump, if elected, would subvert our government. Like, if you had to
subvert our government, 98%. Wait a minute. If that's the standard, basically Donald Trump fucking around with our government in such a way as to undermine it, 99.9999999 repeating.
I mean, like, the very simple.
He tried, but he failed.
No, he didn't. What do you mean he failed? He successfully obstructed almost every single part of. He successfully obstructed almost every part of Mueller's probe. He got an entirely from whole cloth, new fabricated criminal immunity concocted for the presidency, just for him. Okay, he nominated. Were all three Supreme Court picks from Trump? It was three, right? Yeah, all three Supreme Court justices. Maybe a fourth if he gets elected again. What do you mean he failed?
Yeah, so
we still have our democracy, don't we?
Wait a minute, that's not what you said. Wait a minute.
He's not a dictator. He doesn't control our country.
Wait a minute.
So what is your evidence? What is your evidence?
Wait, Donald Trump doesn't control our country? Why didn't we get that immigration bill again?
Bro, I'm not going to get into the weeds with you. I just know that I think the burden of proof is on you guys to make an assessment that it's such a realistic danger that he's going to take over our country. That the burden of proof is on you. That's what
is a realistic danger to you?
Maybe over 50%.
Okay.
Like I'd like to see you put your name on a probability.
Have you ever played Russian roulette?
No.
Would you ever play Russian roulette?
Why?
It's less than 50% chance that you'll blow your brains out.
It's kind of a straw man.
No, it's not. It's not straw man at all. My point is this: it doesn't have to be a 50% or greater percent chance for something to be very serious. And if you disagree, I'm not giving.
Also, the chances are basically it's 100%. I mean, like, I can give you one example where I would say I would be shocked if I was wrong on this. So I would be comfortable saying like 98, 99%. If Donald Trump is elected, the Jack Smith case against him is instantly dead. He will do everything he can to destroy that case immediately.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So can you put an exact probability that Donald Trump will subvert our country?
I just said it, 95%. He will try to kill that case against him. Yeah, he will try to kill that case against him as soon as he's in office.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, that's all I was asking for. So
well, let's be very clear too. If we're talking about the federal cases, all he has to do, I think Stephen's being generous for giving you 95%, it's 99.9 repeating, because all he has to do is just give the order to his attorney general to fire the special counsel, and that's it. It's done. It's over. It's purely within the discretion of the executive to give such an order. It's precisely what he will do. And that is a function of subverting our democracy. Now, running for an unconstitutional third term, declaring martial law and all that shit, then the percentages drop significantly. But the fact that any of these things are greater than zero is too high to tolerate. And even if none of it was zero, rewarding him for his bad behavior in his first term, that's an absolute subversion of our government as well. So,
I would just say that literally him killing the investigations, the cases against him, that would be a subversion in and of itself. And the chance of that happening, as I said, that's like 98, 99%.
Yeah. So, anything else, buddy? Sorry to cut you off.
I concede. Good enough. Thanks for the answer.
Hey, appreciate it, buddy. Have a good one. All right. So, what about Astro? Astro, you are on the air. Give it just a second. Astro, would you like to defend Donald Trump and MAGA? Astro? Bye, Astro. Okay. Amika, the director, you're on the air. Give it just a second. Amika, you are on the air. Do you want to defend Donald Trump and MAGA?
Hi, good afternoon. How are you guys doing today?
Doing well. How are you, buddy?
I'm great. I'm going to be very brief. I just came back and saw the Apprentice film with my parent, and I was just curious if any of you guys have seen the film yet.
I have not. No.
Nope.
I think it was a very interesting film, and I think it got into the mindset of how Trump thinks, and his relationship with Comey, and the legal case he had with that hotel chain that he got sued for, and like how that kind of winner loser mentality that he has, and the dangers of that. It didn't go into his political history at all. I, like many people, are waiting with bated breath on Stephen's illustrious manifesto part series on the January 6th investigation. And in a separate, I don't remember exactly which interview this was, but you had an interview where someone asked if you would meet Donald Trump, what you would ask him as president. I think that I don't remember exactly who asked you this, and I don't remember. It might have been in relation to you to Aiden Ross meeting Trump, and then the question of whether you would ever do it because you're so against him ideologically. And I'm wondering, as someone who's anticipating this video that may or may not happen at this point, but if you are working on that video, don't you think it's important to have an idea of the mentality of Trump? And if so, do you think you'll see this film to get a better perspective on why Trump would do the things he would do outside of narcissism?
I mean, I feel like what's the thing you feel like I don't understand about him?
Well, I'm just saying your work in the quote from, I don't have the clip with me. The quote was, you would ask him why he wants to be president. So you don't understand why he wants to be president.
I mean, I think I understand why. I still want to hear his answer to it, but
then why do you think he wants to be president?
what would be the answer he'd give me, or why do I think he actually wants to be president?
You can do both.
I think deep down, I think he thinks he's the best. He thinks he's the best guy for the job because he's the smartest and most equipped person to carry out this particular thing, because it's the most prestigious thing that can ever be awarded to somebody basically in the history of the entire world, is like leader of the United States of America. So I think he sees himself as like being worthy of that position. And that position is kind of like, it's like a streamer with high viewership. It's like a referendum on his popularity and on his capabilities. For the answer he would give, he'd probably just say some boring, retarded shit like, I want to make this country great again or something.
Yeah. So, Amika, I'm sorry to cut you off. I appreciate the question, and we'll definitely check out that one movie with what's his face from The Winter Soldier. So,
Sebastian Stan, can I just ask one quick question?
Sure.
That manifesto or that video, do you think it's going to come out in 2024 or 3024?
Honestly, it depends. The issue that I'm having right now is that instead of just like making me come immediately, your mom really likes to edge me for 500 years at a time. So if we do 2 more of those edge sessions, it might be 3024 before that video comes out. We'll see.
All right. Well, we'll leave you with that one. Amika, appreciate it, buddy. Let's go to Tiller for Prez, because I'm trying to like see these people's profiles, and it seems that he may be conservative. Tiller for Prez, would you like to defend Donald Trump and MAGA Republicans? You're on the air, sir. Tiller?
Hello.
Hey, you want to defend
Hey,
Donald
there we
Trump
go.
and MAGA?
Wow, I'm sorry, I just wasn't expecting that. I heard, and of course now my wife is fucking calling.
Hang up on her.
Ah,
Marriage lasts forever.
I actually, to be completely honest, I would like to hear you defend Kamala. I just want to, you were saying something about her being qualified, but I don't really know too many of her achievements.
Okay. First of all, who are we talking about?
Tiller?
Anything? Can you hear me?
Oh, no. Yeah, we can hear you. Sorry, wait. Who are we talking about? Which person did you want us to defend?
Kamala. You said you're voting for Kamala, right?
I don't know who's running. I don't know who that is.
Hello?
Hello?
My wife is continuously calling me. Kamala, are you voting for Kamala? Yes or no?
I don't know who that is.
Kamala Harris?
I don't know
It's
who that
Kamala.
is.
He's busting your balls because you're
Kamala. Okay, Kamala.
Your name.
Just as a heads up,
Clearly-
Josiah, it's intentional, okay? Because they're racist, fucking
get
losers.
it,
To be
I
clear,
get
it's
it.
intentional. They're not just doing that like by accident, okay? Don't ever take the bait from these
No, of course
subhuman
not.
fucking retards,
No,
okay?
no. I am not intentionally. I hear it said both ways, and I wasn't really sure which one. Kamala, correct?
That's right.
Like comma, chameleon? Okay, cool. Thanks. Now that we're past the elementary shit, what do you what
I don't
has
think
she
we're past
done,
it yet.
or what do you think that she's going to do that one she can't just do right now, and two, like
let's
what are
start with
her
that.
achievements?
Let's start with that. That's a great question.
Well, no, actually, let's start with what has she already achieved? Because you said something she's more qualified than Vance, Trump, Biden. What has she actually achieved first? And then we'll get into the whole she could do it right now thing. Because I get what you're saying. She's only a vice president. She doesn't have the power, but she has been put in charge of the border. Biden admits this.
Well, no,
So
again,
first of all, that's not true. But also, she was the district attorney in San Francisco. She was the attorney
Having
general.
a job is not an achievement. I currently am a landscaper. I just started the job yesterday, and all I've done is spread fertilizer. Would you call me a professional?
I think you're spreading.
Do you get
fertilizer
paid for
in this
it?
Conversation, sir.
I get paid to
Then you are a
spread
professional,
fertilizer
yes.
in this season.
Well, hold on. So I'm sorry. Then what exactly are you looking for in regards to her performances in these jobs?
Well, I mean, you can have a job and you can sit at a desk and eat crayons all day and get paid. You're not going to keep that job very
Enough
long.
about your CV. What about Kamala Harris?
Well, I'm asking you, what has she achieved? She's had a job, but has she done anything with it?
I mean, she got reelected when she was attorney general in California. I know that she did a lot in trying to combat crime. I don't remember if this is a DA or.
And FYI, and just hang on. While Steven's answering, I would invite you to be very careful about the standard you impose, because what's going to happen at the end of the sentence is I'm going to flip it on you and ask for Trump's achievements as well. And then when you reference his jobs, I'm going to ask you for specific things he did, not just his administration did, but proof that Donald Trump, with his own fat, tiny orange hands, did something. Okay, so be very careful about the standard that you want to impose on the Democrats, because we're not doing this double standard bullshit. Sorry, Stephen, go ahead.
Yeah, I think when she was DA, she tried to use the office a lot to fight against things like truancy. I remember that was a big thing that came up with my debate against Hassan. I know that, and you'll love this, she tried to push for like getting illegal immigrants that had committed felonies to be deported from the United States. That was a thing that she was a big fan of. So she tried to come down hard on.
Can you link me that? Because that'll be interesting.
You can Google it if you want. Honest to God, I don't think me linking you is going to change your mind on anything. It's pretty easy to find. And then as Attorney General,
have a huge misconception of me. You assume that I am voting for Trump and a staunch MAGA, and that's your big mistake.
Are you on the fence?
I am actually one of the few. I get really, really frustrated how many times I have to defend Trump. It's extremely fucking taxing.
Okay, I'm sure it is. Okay, yeah.
It hurts you so much. You can choose just not to do
Sure.
it.
So as
by the
attorney,
way,
so
yeah.
as attorney general in California, she
but
did lawsuits against. She did a lot of
I'm
consumer
a believer in the truth,
protection
though.
stuff.
So
Okay.
if someone says something that's not true, then I'm gonna just tell them that they're incorrect.
It's pretty well
But, I
accepted that
mean-
she had a successful run as the AG of California and as the DA in San Francisco. How much more specific do you want me to be on that?
Okay. It's well accepted, but there's people that would debate that she didn't do a good job or that she did things that are in fact poor.
Who? Name one of
I
them,
know
or one
it-
of those. Name one of those people, or one of those things.
Trump thinks that she did a bad job at DA. One person and one thing
What did
that
he
I
say?
don't think.
Qualifications. What are Trump's qualifications?
No.
to
Wait.
evaluate?
What did Donald Trump say she did bad?
One thing that a lot of Trump supporters that don't like that she did was something. The details are a little vague because it's faded. Pardon me, tripping over my own tongue. Because it's been a while since I read up on specifically what happened, but more or less, she kept people in prison longer than their sentence to force them to do labor. I'm not exactly sure what they were doing, whether they were building roads or picking up trash or whatever. They were kept beyond their sentence against their will. And that's
hold on, wait.
honestly,
Let's ask. Wait. Just
the
the first.
Democrats aren't like
Okay,
really behind.
Sure. Let's just do a quick sanity check, real quick, before I Google this. Okay. Does the attorney general have the power to keep people in prison beyond their sentence?
Well, you told me she had like 2 or 3 different jobs. I didn't keep track of everything you ran at me.
Who determines sentences in prison?
I believe she
who does
used
it?
some sort of legislation that Biden put in place, I believe, if I have the story correct, to I'm not exactly sure
Wait,
how it
just
all
to be
went. Like
clear,
I
when
said, the
Biden
details are
was president, I don't believe that Kamala
No,
Harris
he was in the Senate. He was in the Senate. So you think there's more than one like branch of the government. You're
Taylor,
talking
whoa,
about
Wait. When you
executive.
say the government, you realize that you're talking about the federal government, and that the Attorney General of
Yes,
California
yes,
is not
yes.
part of the federal government, and that
No,
members of
no,
Congress
it's not,
cannot
but what
solo
the
pass
federal
legislation.
government does
Yeah.
is they pass legislation. Congress writes it up, Senate looks at it, President gives it a check mark. We got the whole Bill of Rights thing. It's a whole school of house thing.
Yep.
I
the
might
bill-
get
yep.
some
It's School
details
of Rock.
wrong.
It's School of Rock.
Yeah.
So
It's-
yeah,
and the Bill
School
of
of Rock.
Rights is above the Congress, but that's okay.
Did I say School of Rights?
No,
Interesting.
you said
Freudian
school.
slip.
No, you said School of House. That you can't even remember what you fucked
Oh.
up. That's how bad you're fucking up. So, setting your undeserved hubris aside, so it's judges.
Undeserving hubris. I really don't think you'd get me at all.
Breathe. It's okay. So it's judges, not attorneys general, who decide prison sentences. Okay, number one. Number two, if Donald Trump thought that Kamala Harris was so goddamn bad at her job, why would he donate to her?
For re-election.
Donald Trump donated to Kamala Harris for re-election.
Yeah.
Well, I can think of one, just assuming that's true. And I'm not saying that you're a liar. But I mean, I would donate to somebody if I
Who's
were
bad at their job?
Well, yeah, because I want to donate to her. I want her to get, the Democrats to elect her, and that's who I want to run against. I want to run against the dumbest person possible. So that's who I would donate.
Wait. When
was
did
he
Trump?
running
Hold
for
on.
Attorney General?
Did he? Yeah. Did
sorry.
Donald Trump? No, you were right. Did he run for Attorney General in California? I'm trying to remember.
Oh, you said Attorney General. Okay. I thought you were talking in this election. So what year was this? Because Trump used to be a Democrat. This is pretty well known.
Right. So it was 2011, I believe.
That sounds about when Trump was still a Democrat.
Right, but why would Trump donate to her if he thought she was bad at her job?
Well, the series of events could have very easily been that he donates to her. She gets into office, and then he realizes, wow, she's been fucking all this up for this whole time.
She was already in office.
He donated
That's why
in
it's a re-election
2011 and again in
campaign.
2013.
But that doesn't mean that he was aware that I didn't know she was fucking shit up in California until 2020.
So you think in 2011 and in 2013, when Trump donated a total of $6,000, and when his daughter Ivanka also gave $2,000 in 2014, he had no idea about her record? He just gave her money randomly, or?
I mean, I'm not going to validate the actions of Trump, because I'll say again, I'm not a Trump guy, and
I
I've only
understand, but Tiller,
No, no,
you
no, no. We're
cited
not saying you're a
Nixon
Trump guy.
example.
We're not saying you're a Trump guy. We're not asking you to defend Trump. I'm just saying, like, doesn't it seem
Okay.
like Trump attacking her credibility is probably more a political move than him actually thinking he had a problem with what she did for work? Like, it seems like if you go by his donation record, he actually probably approved of the job she was doing, right?
You could speculate on whether or not it's a political move, but I would also agree that she is not great at her job.
Okay, well then what's your
By
evidence
what metric?
that
Yeah.
she's not great at her job?
I mean, the border is one great one. She was put in charge of the border and
No, she
has
was
done nothing
No,
but
she was
make it
not. And what constitutional authority does the vice president have over the border anyway?
anything that the president gives to that person.
So-
If the president, and he has on camera admitted that anything that happened during his presidency, she is just as responsible for. It's lately, it's almost like Biden is out there campaigning for Trump. It's almost hilarious and surprising that you, Destiny, have missed it.
So, Tiller, a couple of things. It's the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security who, besides the president himself, is in charge of the border. President Biden gave Kamala Harris responsibility for diplomatic missions to Latin America countries to address root causes of migration to the southern border. She was not in charge of border security. She was not in charge of, defending the border. She had a diplomatic issue that was much more long-term. And there was no evidence that it was unsuccessful. As a matter of fact, we received greater cooperation from Latin America countries as a consequence, in part, of the vice president's diplomatic overtures. Number one.
Okay, keep going.
So number two, as a senior advisor to President Biden, yes, she contributed, as an advisor does, and also in her capacity as tie-breaking votes in the Senate, to the Biden-Harris agenda. But the Biden-Harris administration has been wildly successful legislatively and executively, which makes me go back to, again, the question, how is she bad at her job?
Well, also, wait, before the bad job, just to put a thing on this, unless you've got something different that I would like to see about her being assigned to the border, right? So this is a 2021 article, all right, from AP News, and it says Harris is tasked with overseeing diplomatic efforts to deal with issues spurring migration in the Northern Triangle countries of El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, as well as pressing them to strengthen enforcement on their own borders, administration officials said. So it doesn't sound like she was in charge of the border, running around and keeping immigrants coming in, but rather foreign diplomatic efforts. And also, I would have to look at this separately. My understanding is that those countries did actually start to open up immigration processing centers to process immigrants that were, I believe, functional.
They did.
So
that's what I said. Yeah. So she was in charge of diplomatic shit for root causes, and we received greater cooperation as a consequence of her actions. So, but again, now we'll go back.
I gotta interject here. If we're seeing better cooperation with Southern and Central American countries, do I have you right? Have I misquoted anybody yet?
Sure, yep, go ahead.
Then why is it that we are getting more migrants into our country, and why are they not being sent back? Something got taken out of place between Trump leaving office, but somewhere between November 5th and January something.
So to be clear, it spiked in Trump's last year. It was spiking. Okay. The issue is when people come to the United States and they claim asylum, they claim refugee status, they claim asylum once they've already gotten here or even at a port of entry.
And we have admitted that we have stated that we do not take people for financial asylum.
Correct. We don't. Yes, that's correct. However,
so why is there so many of them here?
Because that determination can only be made in court. And right now there's a huge backlog on the system. That's why when Democrats were trying to pass legislation that was authored by a Republican from the Senate, Lankford, when they tried to pass a bill, it would have provided a lot more funding and a lot more space for those asylum claims to be processed so that we get them the fuck out of here if they're not here for good reason.
Okay, then why the fuck aren't they out of here? You're not really even leading me to the water yet.
Hold on. Okay, then listen very carefully to what I just said. Immigrants come to the border and they say, hey, I'm claiming asylum. And then the guy at the border says, why are you claiming asylum? They're like, oh, because I'm being persecuted. It's like, okay, well, we can't process you right now. And it's illegal for us to just ship you over the border if you're claiming asylum. You're running from rapists or whatever. So we're going to give you a slip. You're going to have to show up in court.
Why is it illegal for them to just say, no, you can't come in?
Because that's what the rules, that's what the laws on the book dictate right now. is if you're already here, if you make it
Okay.
into a port of entry,
Was that the case in 2019, 2018?
the difference
Was
is that
that
in
what the
20
rules were on the book?
the difference is that in like 2020 is that when COVID started to happen, Donald Trump was able to use an emergency measure to deny people at the border using Title 42. That was a big thing that Trump was able to utilize. But even in Trump's last year, you can look at the chart that he posts, that immigration number was starting to spike like crazy. But the problem is the laws in the book right now say that if somebody comes here and they claim asylum, they have to be processed.
Around November 5th, if I read the chart correctly, is when because I'm sure you've seen over and over again, nearly wetting your pants with excitement watching Trump get shot. That you remember when he was talking about the chart, that very chart that he has.
Yeah, that chart, by the way, that's mislabeled.
misrepresented.
Yeah, where he incorrectly identifies when he actually left office. But yeah.
Incorrectly. Yeah, sure. And I didn't even fact check it because I seen it on CNN. No, dude, bro, stop. Because you sound retarded every time you revert back to that. Okay,
I'm the one.
I am not a liking Trump person. I am not a liking Trump person, but it really gets taxing to continue to defend him. So if you want to do so honestly, I'll continue.
Shit. Let's get to that. So right now you're quibbling about Kamala Harris. We're in the rabbit hole about Title 42 at this point. You've already been fact checked on what Kamala Harris did. She was not in charge of border security. She was in charge of diplomatic missions.
Then why does Biden continue to come out and say that she is?
Where has he said that? Wait, what has he said about that?
Had something to do.
Where has he said that?
Joe Biden said that she is in charge of border security?
Some point in the last 3 months when he decided to start talking to people again.
Months, you sounded really stupid, and you still do today. I want a source.
Or like, was it a speech? Was it? What can I Google to find this?
It was approximately. You remember when Biden put the guy's MAGA hat on? It was about 2 weeks after that. He was talking at. It was before his whole. I forget who the Prime Minister of India thing was. It was around about then. I don't really remember exactly what news. One of the alphabet media sources. He was talking to a bunch of people, and they were asking him questions. He said, "Yeah, Harris absolutely, was helping me with everything." I'm paraphrasing the guy.
I appreciate your
seen
paraphrase.
that you were talking to MAGA, so I hopped in. I didn't bring my
That
dossier.
doesn't mean that Kamala Harris was in charge of border security. That means a second executive branch and a general senior advisor to the president. She advised him in most things domestic and foreign policy. Nobody disputes that. That is a far cry from saying that she had responsibility for border security. That is the president of the United States who delegates it to the secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. So move on to your next criticism because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. How else is she
and actually, I will be honest. Comparative to the co-owner of my media company, this is actually more his forte. But unfortunately, you have our company Twitter blocked. It used to be under 4 Bastards, but now it's under Tea Party Media. If you would like to unblock us, that would be wonderful.
What? How do you spell it?
Currently, the @ is TPM for Tea Party Media, LLC USA.
Gotcha. Unblocked.
Cool. Perfect.
So what are you prepared to talk about? Because here's where I'm confused. You come in here hostile as fuck, demanding
No, not hostile as fuck.
The most hyper-specific of sources. You are unable to meet your own standard. You're fact-checked relentlessly. What are you prepared to talk about?
To be honest with you, I really wanted to see if you could defend Kamala. And I mean, I'd have to look up what you've said. Kamala.
Thank you.
Okay, I get it, but really it's just a matter of it's a real easy fix up. It's not like mix up. It's not like everybody who does it is doing it on purpose.
I'm so sorry, but if you're a world leader and you can't pronounce the name of your own president correctly, that is one of the most disqualifying things I could think of in my entire life. And if you're going to tell me that the guy who says Barack Hussein Obama over and over again is accidentally mispronouncing her name, you're delusional or just a sucker. And again, it's disqualifying as president.
I know that he deliberately will mispronounce or give people people nicknames to insult them. But I do not think that every MAGA does it deliberately every single time they mispronounce Kamala, because I find myself having to force myself to pronounce a word.
I would like you to find yourself
in a
having
way.
to make a point. Can we please get fuck the
Okay.
pronunciation? Steven's already fact checked you on this.
Well, I mean, you wanted to make a point out of it, and my wife's calling, so I'll let you go. Goodbye.
Jesus Christ. All right, let's see. So, okay, before I bring on the next person, somebody named Giovanna Zamet, who I assume is a Russian. I'm not very Twitter literate, so I always assume that just people are bots these days.
That TPM, that if that person shows up, because his little co-owner guy might show up too. Yeah, but sorry,
cool. Well, yeah. What's the name? Because I'll be looking out for it.
It was like TPM or something.
TPM. All right, I'll keep an eye. TPM. If you pop in the chat, you get to skip the line because your hire, your assistant recommended you. But somebody added us on Twitter and said they posted a screenshot of a resolution from the Republican-led House of Representatives. And the second thing says, whereas on March 24th, 2021, Vice President Kamala Harris was named border czar. Like this is some sort of proof that she was in charge of the southern border. So again, I'm going to say she was in charge of diplomatic overtures with 3 Latin America countries. She was not in charge of border security. And if you have any evidence to the contrary, you are free to present it, but we will be waiting for a while because you don't have any. So let's move on to the next person. What about... Come on, who wants to defend Donald Trump and MAGA? That guy at least tried, I guess, even though he said he wasn't. What about, let's do, I'm going to pick a random. What about Oklahoma President Ted Roof?
The president of Oklahoma? Holy shit.
We'll see. Oklahoma President Ted Roof, you are on the air. Give it just a second.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, yeah, I just have a couple things. First of all, Steven, I think that the mispronouncing Kamala thing is not a racist thing. I think it's just I can't be bothered to pronounce your name, so I'm not going to take you seriously.
It's still an intentional mispronunciation of her name for a guy that. Hold on, it's an wait.
Whoa,
Sorry, you got hardcore echoing in the background.
Agree.
Wait, can you hear me? Hello, hello.
My bad. Here, one second.
Yeah. Wow. While he's figuring that out, like, it's an intentional mispronunciation of her name. Trump has fixated hardcore on her race. And Trump has made also other equally disgusting remarks about people that are non-white who are also running for office. For instance, when he calls him Barack Hussein Obama and implied that he was born in fucking Kenya. Also, I'm not 100% sure on the most recent thing. I know there was a birther thing that was pushed for Kamala as well. Was Trump a part of that, or was he independent of that?
I didn't know about the Kamala birther thing. I've not.
Yeah, for a while
that.
There were people saying that she was born in Jamaica or some bullshit. That she wasn't actually an American citizen. That it was for a small. It was for a small period of time, but I don't remember how popular that got or if Trump ever pushed.
While
that.
we're waiting on this other guy, I brought somebody else in. JD Uncle or J Drunk Uncle. You're on the
maybe
air.
born in India too. Sure, yeah.
Yeah, hey fellas, how's this going? Stephen, I'm a big fan of yours. You know, I'm a vet myself. I'm kind of in the middle. I'm a centrist, kind of like.
You cut out, buddy. All we heard was kind of like and then you vanished. You still there? Well, all right. So Oklahoma, when you get your shit figured out, jump back into the queue and try to get to you.
That you know, there's so many people.
J Drunk Uncle, were you talking this entire time?
Yeah, it's lagged, so now it's like going to catch up. So he's going to be like talking over us for a minute.
He's gone. Yeah, he vanished. I didn't kick him this time. I promise. Let's see. Come on. Who wants to defend Trump and MAGA? Step up. God damn it. Defend your cult leader. What about Alex Whitaker? Alex Whitaker, we're going to invite you on, buddy. I think this has potential. Alex, you are on the air. Give it just a second. God damn, what is going on here? I don't even see him. Alex.
What up, bro?
Hey. What's up? You want to defend Donald Trump and MAGA?
No, not really.
Okay.
No, I don't want to defend them at all. I think they're absolute dog shit. If I'm being
Well,
honest.
we agree, but I mean, Steven's looking to pick a fight with people, so we gotta. Do you want to fight with Steven about something that is politics related?
Do you know what? I haven't heard that in 25 years. Do you want to pick a fight with somebody? When I grew up in Canada, I love that. Do you want to pick a fight? What?
Bye, Alex. Let's see. What about?
Only Americans, by the way.
Let's see. What about Drew? Drew the dog man. By the way, apparently my instincts are quite off. So much for that. Drew, you're on the air. Woof woof. You want to defend MAGA and Trump? Drew. Bye, Drew. Let's see. What about?
I'm just going to say when Pisco was here, none of the people were AFK.
I know, man. Listen, there's no replacing Pisco, okay? But Pisco was also just as likely to pick a fight with you over the dumbest thing.
True.
So. God, let's see. What about Chicken Sandwich? Chicken Sandwich, you're on the air. Give it just a second. Do you want to defend? Wait, how is Josiah picking random people and not to do with MAGA and Upside Down American? Where is this guy?
What's up?
Hey, do you want to defend Donald Trump and MAGA?
All right. So a couple guys ago, before you got all the fucking glaziers come on and say that I agree with you guys, you just like, what was a good representation of the time that the Democrats all lied about some bullshit and like they knew they lied and blah blah blah. What was Russiagate then?
Russiagate was an investigation into the idea that Donald Trump himself was ordering some sort of coordinated efforts between his campaign and bad Russian actors. The fact that there were people that were working close to him, directly with him, like Roger Stone, were in communications directly with Russian actors, like the hacker that was releasing hacked materials from the DNC, and the fact that Donald Trump was telling people, that Roger Stone was telling people in the Trump campaign when new leaks were coming, coordinating with Russian actors, was part of the reason why that investigation was continuing, but Donald Trump killed basically every part of that as effectively as he could.
Okay. So all the news anchors knew all this at the time.
I didn't say all the news anchors knew all this at the time.
Okay, no, it's fine that like whatever happened after the fact, like, post hoc, we know this now. But all the news anchors at the time were reporting all this, like there was definitely something that was happening, and it was like the worst thing ever.
The news anchors were probably a bit too zealous. The problem is that Donald Trump was unprecedentedly egregious and retarded in the way that he handled communications, and people really just didn't know how to respond. It's kind of unthinkable that a president or somebody running for president in the United States would publicly call to reward for an enemy nation of ours in order to attack a political opponent. That's like a kind of an unprecedented thing in the United States. It's kind of insane that somebody would just do that publicly. So I'm sure that the media's response wasn't the greatest, but Donald Trump and the MAGA people's whole MO is to act as unhinged and retarded as possible. And then when the other side like missteps too much because they're not used to dealing with like unhingedness at this level, that you all of a sudden call them out for being unhinged.
Yeah, Chicken, I guess a question would be, do you think that there's a meaningful difference between, like, let's say Rachel Maddow perhaps being overzealous in, as the Mueller investigation was ongoing, ascribing criminal intent to Donald Trump, and what went on with the Fox Dominion voting systems? I can think of one major difference.
I mean, I can't say yes or no because no one sued Rachel Maddow and then they settled out of court, right? Like if there was like fire or foot to the fire or whatever, if they were held accountable for that and sued or whatever, and they went to court and they were found innocent, then I'd be like, yeah, 100%. But they weren't even like no one prosecutes like left-wing media.
So
wait.
Yeah.
What do you mean no one prosecutes left-wing media?
Maybe you don't know where I'm going with this.
Didn't CNN have a historically huge settlement with the kids at the Covington Park over defamation because the kids were upset, and rightfully so, at how CNN covered that?
Nick Sandeman sued them for $250 million. It was settled, but we don't know what the sum was. But yes, there was a suit and there was a settlement. It's under seal.
Okay, so yeah, they miscovered something. I meant like, politically. Was it a political thing? That what you said?
Yes, yeah, it was. So he was wearing a MAGA hat, and it went viral. I think it was like
Oh, right,
2018,
right.
2019.
Okay, yeah, that thing. Okay, yeah, the provoking of the Native Americans or whatever.
And then also maybe I can I'm not going to say it's 0% chance that the media was knowingly lying, but is there any evidence whatsoever that we can point to going, oh, they knew that Russiagate was a lie? Is there any evidence for any of the big media heads that we can go to say, like, oh, they probably knew that it was a lie?
That's the big difference, Chicken. That one right there.
Okay, I mean, I would have to deep dive into watching all of the media when they were doing it.
No, you don't. Well, wait a minute. Well, hang on.
You have an impression that they lied. Where does the impression come from?
It seems like a lot of conjecture, like, oh yeah, it's around the corner, and I have sources, it's going to come soon, kind of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
wait, here's a question. Do you think that a reasonable person could have thought that Trump was compromised by some foreign actor? With him saying things like, I think you'll be rewarded greatly if you release the emails, Russia, with him making a public statement like that?
Yeah, that was on camera. Like, let's be clear about that.
It was a press conference,
Yeah.
Some people might think that, sure. I mean, but he's a person that lies to people all the time. So I don't know. Like I can imagine a world where he's like lying to foreign people to try and get what he wants.
Okay, sure. Wait. But wasn't WikiLeaks actually releasing hacked material from DNC servers? So if that was actually happening,
it was releasing more than just that, though. Yeah.
So, well, they didn't release anything bad about Trump's campaign, and Assange himself said he wouldn't release anything bad about Trump's campaign, right?
Sure.
So if they're releasing information about one side, if we're pretty sure the hacker was Russian, the Guccifer 2.0 moniker was owned by a Russian, and if Donald Trump is publicly calling for Russia to release more information, couldn't a reasonable person think that, like, oh, wow, this guy might be fucking compromised?
I mean, you might be able to assume that, but like, this is along the sides of just like, if people want to back Trump, right, and he doesn't necessarily have a hand in that, like that's,
Hold on, wait. You say he didn't have a hand in it, but he literally went on the news station and said, "Hey, if Russia releases the rest of the emails, you will be rewarded greatly." He says this. Now, maybe you could say he wasn't being serious, but is that really the defense that you would run for him? A reasonable person couldn't look at that and go like, "Oh shit, maybe he's like signaling."
Yeah, sure. People can assume that the people are signaling all the time. Sure, of course.
No. Not people are signaling all the time, of course. That he said, whoever would release those emails, Russia, if you have those emails, you would be rewarded greatly for releasing them. That's not anybody signaling anything. That's him. Yeah, okay. That was him specifically making. Okay, so couldn't a reasonable person, and also I'm agreeing with you in that I think that the media covered it not in the best way. Maybe they went overboard on some things. But the question is, do I think that they were blatantly lying about it? Like they knew it was bullshit, they knew it was a lie, and they went on and they lied about it anyway?
Okay. Sure. Did you think that Fox or all that coverage of that stuff was blatantly lying until you looked into it? Like, did you just?
No, he didn't. But what the hell does that have to do with anything?
I'm saying is I haven't looked into it.
Wait, actually,
so
I did think they were lying, and I remember explicitly why. I think it was over the Hunter Biden laptop story, and maybe this actually was true. In my memory here, I'm just bad for pointing this event. Wasn't it? Was it Hunter Biden? Or no, I'm sorry. Was it Tucker Carlson who said he had a killer piece of information about either the laptop story or some Russia collusion with Hillary that got lost in the fucking mail? As soon as I heard that, I thought that Fox News was up to some wild and unhinged shit. When I heard that, I was like, hold on. You mailed some shit? You didn't make a backup? It got lost in the fucking mail? You didn't do this priority first class? You didn't hand deliver? That's what I thought some crazy bullshit was going on. Yeah.
Yeah. So Chicken, here's the problem. This is the false equivalence thing. So it's entirely possible that people in the mainstream media were irresponsible with their conjecture or their certitude that Donald Trump was collaborating with a hostile foreign government. That's possible. That is not the same. It's not as bad. It's considerably less bad than what Fox News did with Dominion. We have verifiable evidence that they lied. Now, if you have verifiable evidence that the mainstream media lied about Russia.
Of course, I don't have verifiable evidence. I haven't put it through like the level of scrutiny that the Fox News stuff was put through.
Right, but then...
Well, also, to be clear, I just want to do a quick fact check on that. I didn't even know this, but somebody just linked this. So Rachel Maddow and MSNBC were actually sued by the One America News Network, and they won. It got tossed in both courts, and an upper court upheld the decision. So...
Oh, so there you go. I didn't even know that either. So here's the problem. You can criticize Rachel Maddow and MSNBC, again, for, in your opinion, being irresponsible in their rhetoric. I'm sorry, it's just not the same. And this is what we come back to. Stephen or I guess I can't speak for Stephen. I'm confident that he'll agree with me on this. It's not that the Democrats are perfect. They're just better than the Republicans. The Democratic Party, in terms of its elected officials, is better. Like, when they make mistakes, their mistakes are less frequent. They are less severe. When Republicans do bad things, it's more frequently and it's worse.
And it's intentional.
And Donald Trump is just morally inferior to every elected Democrat. So it's not that, Democrats and Democratic-aligned media, they made a mistake. No, it's just that for every one mistake you can cite, I can cite 2 or 3 examples that are worse in greater number. So that's really the issue here. So what do you disagree with about that?
I think both sides are pretty fucking corrupt.
Oh, God.
I mean, they are. What, you don't?
Do you think that if I were to show you a girl who had huge scars all up and down her arms and legs and say, oh, this person cuts a lot, like, be careful, and then I were to show you somebody else who did MDMA and he kind of like chewed up the inside of his tongue the last night, would you look at both those people and go like, oh yeah, both of those people kind of like engage in self-harm, I guess. Like, they both do it.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think. No, you don't believe that. No, you don't believe that. You don't believe
more
that.
Visual, obviously, like, yeah, cutting, blah, blah, blah. You're going to see the scars or whatever. But yeah, like abusing drugs, yeah, that's self-harm.
Chicken. So I'll try something else. Okay. How about, I assume you're anti-crime, right? Not a big crime guy. Don't like criminals.
I don't know who's pro-crime.
Well, Donald Trump is pro-crime. What do you mean? He he literally has pardoned every single person near him that was convicted of a crime, and then has fought for the Supreme Court to not even have criminal liability. So it seems pretty pro-crime to me.
Stamich, so is shoplifting a crime?
Sure.
Is murder a crime?
Yeah.
Would you, in any world, when referring to a shoplifter and a murderer, just say, oh, they're both criminals? Do you think there are any meaningful differences between these two crimes and the two perpetrators?
I mean, we don't have words other than like, it's a serious crime versus it's a misdemeanor crime. Like,
right. You have adjectives, right? You have adjectives that describe down.
But yeah, you would refer everyone in prison as prisoners. You wouldn't just be like, oh, these people are murder and rapist prisoners, and these people are just like normal prisoners.
What do you do? What do you do for work?
I'm in cells.
Okay. Does I don't know what, like, sort of, I don't know.
I'm trying to think of an analogy because I can't believe this mind actually works this way. This is not real. I'm trying to figure out if people who do this are engaging in bad faith or if it's just truly like a gap in ability to understand basic human language.
I get what you're saying.
No. Hold on. You don't get it. You either are mentally delayed, like developmentally, or something politically is destroying your ability to rationally think. Because something is happening with you right now where you are parsing language like the machine that you're not. Nobody's a machine, and you're losing the ability to understand like a human speaking to somebody. You for some reason you don't have that. Like if somebody were to say like, oh, why did you stop dating Johnny? And then the girl says, well, honestly, I stopped dating Johnny because he's a criminal. You're not thinking in your mind, well, he could have been a jaywalker. You're never thinking that. Or if you are, you might have some severe mental disability. In your mind, you're instantly going to severe crimes. You would never say, oh, wow, a criminal? Did he forget to show up in court for a red light ticket? You'd be asking like, oh, holy shit, did he beat you? Or what did he fucking do? Like, holy fuck. That would immediately be where your mind would go to. Do you acknowledge that?
I'll tell you exactly what my mind would go to. My mind would go through, Johnny committed a crime severe enough that made her not want to date him.
So, but wait. She didn't say that though. She just said, "Oh, I just don't date him anymore. He was a criminal because he was a criminal."
No, she literally said that. I don't date him anymore because he's a criminal. So whatever his crime is, whatever it was severe enough for them to not want to date anymore.
Okay, well then in that case, looking at Josiah's example, if I were to refer and say like, "Oh, careful, like this guy's a criminal," you wouldn't think, well, he could be a murderer and he could be a jaywalker. You would think, well, damn, whatever he did is severe enough that this man is referring to him as a criminal, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would, if you were to call someone a criminal, I would think that that's like whatever crimes he committed, you think are bad enough for you to refer that.
So then when somebody said this media has engaged in blatant overt lies against the American public, why would you equate blatant overt lies with, well, maybe they believed in something a bit too zealously and they did believe it, but they maybe should have done their homework a bit more? Why would you equate those two things?
All right. So I didn't say that CNN was just a little overzealous. You said that. I said that I don't know if they knew they were lying or not because there wasn't scrutiny on them to the degree that there was on the Fox people.
Yeah, but part of the scrutiny literally comes from them doing lies, right? Like, for instance, like, let's say that I know that OJ, well, that's a bad example. I know that some guy that murdered somebody is a murderer. I know that somebody's a murderer because he went to court for murder. And then you would say, well, did Stephen murder anybody? And then you go, well, Stephen's never been in court for murder, so who knows? No, the answer would obviously be, well, I've never been suspected of murder, right? If MSNBC or CNN are telling these blatant horrible lies, wouldn't somebody sue them? Like OAN tried to sue MSNBC?
Didn't you say that they were sued? They were tried to sue and it just didn't hold up?
Yeah.
Don't you think that that's a meaningful difference?
Yes, that's a difference.
Sure. Yes, it's a meaningful difference. I didn't know that was the case until you guys just said it.
No, he said it. He said it, 10 minutes ago. But here's the point. We're taking the circle. Let's just go to the straight line. Even if you think both sides are corrupt, the reason that Stephen and I are scoffing at that is not because that we don't think there are corrupt Democrats. There clearly are. Bob Menendez. But when you say that, and then that's the end of the analysis, it suggests that the two sides are comparably corrupt. And sir, they are not. I don't know if you believe that. I hope you don't believe that. But they are not equally or comparably corrupt. You can recognize meaningful distinctions between two things. And if you're a functioning adult, you do it all the time. You do recognize meaningful differences between a shoplifter and a murderer. You would concede meaningful differences between a cold and stage 4 cancer, even though they're both illnesses. So you should be able to apply that same critical thinking prism to politics. If you have two choices, and if one side is less bad than the other choice, and that is indeed the case, then you should probably support the less bad side.
Okay. So as far as how corrupt one side is versus the other side, I can't imagine a way to gauge that, like versus like I guess who's more bought off, how many people in each party is more bought off than the other, like how many good people are on in like the Republican Party, how many like not bought off people are in the Democratic Party, like
how
that's
do you know
like
that either side is corrupt?
Or who do you support then electorally?
I don't support either one. I haven't voted in a while.
Oh.
Yeah.
How do you know that either side is corrupt?
The whole Citizens United, like everyone just getting paid.
No, I understand. I don't like Citizens United either. But how do you know that either side? How do you know that politicians are corrupt?
Well, because they get like paid tons of money to vote like against their constituents.
Wait, how do they win elections then?
Dude, because they fucking gerrymander the districts and shit, and then they
great example. Thank you. Wait a minute. Actually, no, that's a great example.
I was going to fight against that, but you know what? You're right. Let's use gerrymandering as a standard. Go for it, Josiah.
That's a great example.
No, I know Republicans gerrymandered more than fucking Democrats.
And that would mean they're more corrupt.
That's a distinction worth noting. Thank you. Yes. Jesus, yes, we've reached it. So you agree that there's more evidence of corruption for the Republican Party than the Democratic Party, right?
Gerrymandering is like not necessarily corrupt. Gerrymandering is the rules that they were set in place. They're playing the game by their rules.
Citizens United is the rule.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then there's no corruption. So then there's no corruption. You can't cite a rule as evidence of corruption. When we cite corruption, you say, well, that's not corruption because there's a rule.
Okay. So gerrymandering and Citizens United are both evidence of corruption. Sure.
Well, that's what you said. I don't personally think so.
Well, and you know what? And again, I'll grant you the premise on Citizens United. What court and what was the composition of the court? It decided Citizens United. Was it a liberal court? Was it a Democratic appointed court? Or was it a conservative Republican court?
I'm assuming it was a liberal court because you're making the point.
No, it was a conservative majority.
Oh, was it?
Court. Yeah.
Oh.
So you're 2-0, baby. 2-0.
So by what metric then, if we can think of our best example, by what metric would we think that the Democratic side is more corrupt than the Republican side? If we can think of any metric that we could try to look up or analyze or consider.
Okay. So what metric would the Democrat...
While you're thinking, can I introduce you to a possibility, sir? That maybe you're overthinking this, and maybe you are presented as complicated as life can be. Maybe we're in a situation where it's not relatively complicated. It's actually relatively simple, and that one side is demonstrably worse than the other.
Sure. No, I agree that a lot of Republicans, like, you know, they fight for policies and they gerrymander and they do things, and like they will try to, you know, stack the courts by, you know, denying Obama his pick and all that other bullshit, right? Like no, I agree that they're playing their game. They're playing the political game to the best of their, you know, whatever. And Democrats, like, you know, cuck out all the time. I agree. Yeah, they cuck out all the time.
Right.
They've also, if you like stack all the Democratic senators and whatever, they've also made way more money on the stock market than all the Republicans doing the insider trading bullshit, right?
Well, number one, I don't know if that's true. Number one, because I call. Well, hang on. The reason I say that is because I know prosecutions for criminal insider trading, and I did a video about this like 6 months ago. It's pretty heavily favored towards Republicans. Republicans get busted breaking laws about.
Yeah, but the
insider
issue
trading.
is, my guess is what he's saying, and we're never winning this point, is that my guess is going to be by absolute value. Isn't Nancy Pelosi's husband one of the wealthiest people associated directly with somebody in the Senate or House? So it's no matter what. I could show you. 437 members of Congress that are Republican engaging in corruption with insider trading, and then compare that to Nancy Pelosi's husband, who's making more, and he would say that, oh, see, so the Democrats are more corrupt. Then it would be, you'd never win.
No, I'm saying on aggregate. So if you're saying that if you remove Nancy Pelosi, the Democrats are less than the Republicans, then
well,
like,
to be
okay,
clear,
sure.
I don't even think there's been ever even been presented proof that any kind of insider trading or anything occurs. That's never even been demonstrated, and there's not even a great reason to believe that. If you're looking at members of Congress.
There's no proof. Just like, you know, the person's wife put up the flag, it's not a big deal.
No. When I say there's no proof, what I mean is that the proof that I know you've seen is misrepresented horribly, that people who talk about the proof, like PBD, have no background in finance or understand stock trading or markets at all, and that the only thing that gets posted over and over again, that chart showing how much senators and people in Congress outperform ordinary traders, those are with synthetic portfolios that are tracking trades, specific trades that are chosen by the authors of the particular paper that I know you're thinking of, because it's the only one that's been published on this. And the composition of those synthetic portfolios is insane, the way that they try to put those portfolios together. And that if you look on the aggregate of traders in Congress, I think it's like pretty, like, I think you can look for like the gains, because I think they'll have to publish it publicly. If you look, like, I think like half of them outperform the average American and like half of them underperform, which is about what you would expect in a group full of people.
Don't they also have like persons like net value, net worth or whatever entering the office, and then like after, like, what their net value is and their whatever worth is after? Like, isn't that also calculated in?
No,
and, like,
net worth has nothing to do with trading. But I mean, what is it? I mean, everybody's net worth is going to increase when you leave, right?
Well, generally, when you go into office or whatever, like, the people go in there like as, you know, maybe millionaires, and they come out as like 10 to 20, 30 millionaires or whatever. They've compounded their money way more than the average, you know, person.
Well, what does that have to? Well, probably. I mean, yeah, they get paid to give speeches or whatever else. But I mean, what is this supposed to be evidence of? I'm sure they make money. They can fucking write books and shit and make a ton of money. No.
It's just the self-servingness of politics is kind of like what I'm getting at.
Yeah, but like, by what standard are the Democrats worse than the Republicans here?
I mean, I don't want to sound like fucking weird, but didn't the Obamas just get a fuck ton of money from Netflix? And like, you know, they got treated and way different than any Republican leaving the office.
So is the answer because Obama is able to like sell like show deals or movie deals? This is evidence of like corruption somehow, or like he's not president anymore, right?
No, all right. So it feels like, I mean, it happened with Clinton too. But like, the Clintons got like a bunch of money when they left as well. I
What do
don't
you mean
remember
got a bunch
George
of money?
W.
Like they're selling like book deals and stuff, or what?
I
Like
mean, the Clinton Foundation and all that. Like they have just a huge amounts of money. Like they were governors of Alabama, and now they're fucking multi-millionaires. Like
Governor, I could be wrong. I didn't Clinton go to Bill go to literally like fucking Yale or something? Am I making that up? Aren't these like, don't they come from decently wealthy families, or am I completely inventing that?
I'm not sure if they were like upper echelon, but yeah, probably like not super wealthy, but.
He graduated from Georgetown in '68, and then later he went to Yale, where he met Hillary, who was also going to Yale. Like, I feel like these guys were probably doing okay before.
Okay, so everyone who graduated Yale was like a multimillionaire. Gotcha. All right.
My guess would be that 90% of the... Well, I don't know. Can I look that up? What is the average family wealth of Yale graduate? The median family income of a student from Yale is $192,600 a year, and 69% of Yale families come from the top 20%. So my guess is probably, yeah, the majority of people graduating from Yale are from millionaire families. That'd be my guess, yeah.
Okay, well, we should forgive student loan debt then.
Okay. Fuck, I need to figure out how to add Josiah back in here. Oh, there he is. Okay, hold on. I'll figure this out someday, Josiah.